Yesterday, March 4th, 2019, the U.S. Supreme Court refused to hear the Republican Party's appeal of 2014's Senate Bill 54, the pretend legislation that tells certain private organizations, like political parties, how to choose the candidates that represent them. A brief history on this is important, though there is much more to the story than will be revealed here. In 2010, a group of people met in secret with the goal to make Utah like California. Some might call this a conspiracy, calling themselves mainstream Republicans. Where did they meet? At the same place Gary Herbert called himself Available Jones, there to do anything you want for a price, to discuss how they could change the system to make sure their plans to move Utah in the same direction as California weren't slowed down politically. That was where Count My Vote was born. To summarize, one purpose of Count My Vote was to make Utah politically more like California. The Count My Vote org tried to get on the ballot, but failed in getting enough signatures, so they got a few of their men in the legislature, Kurt Bramble in the Senate, and Dan McKay, who was then in the House, both Buckshot members, to come up with a fake compromise called SB54, claiming falsely that Count My Vote was going to get on the ballot. Now, you don't negotiate if you're about to win, as the Count My Vote people were claiming. This was not a compromise. This was a surrender to the Count My Vote establishment to make us like California. SB 54 was so bad, it actually gave non-Republicans the right to choose Republican candidates, non-Democrats the power to choose Democrat candidates, etc. The Republican Party lawyers who were fighting, and I put fighting in quotes, the law in court were so bad, either on purpose or out of incompetence, that one filing was submitted just minutes after it was due, forcing the judge to throw out the motion. Defending Utah was able to get key information about the conflict of interest of the chosen arbiter, getting him removed from the case and exposing the Republican Party lawyer so that the Constitution Party lawyer took over and did what the Republican Party lawyer refused to do correctly. This action by defending Utah and the Constitution Party led to the only court victory in the battle over Count My Vote and SB 54. From day one, the good, hard-working, honest, and stalwart grassroots activists were undermined by wolves in sheep's clothing among them. And sadly, against many warnings, the good folks in the grassroots of the party were fooled into taking this into the courts, where they were undermined every step of the way. It's easy to say in hindsight that we shouldn't have gone to the courts because of these conspiring actions, and we had always hoped that more people would have seen the warning voice that was raised. However, what principle could we have followed in the beginning that would have avoided the results seen Monday? Ammon Bundy explains this perfectly.
And what I see is that many times, over and over, even people very close to me, I even get tempted. That whenever there's trouble, whenever my rights are infringed upon or I feel like they're being taken, I want to go hire a lawyer. And I want to run to the golden calf and put my faith there. And I tell you now, very clearly, that is not where your rights are secured. That is not where your liberty is secured. Your liberty and your rights are secured on the very, place that they were established. When someone comes to threaten your family, you stand in defense of your family and you call upon God to help you. And whatever circumstance is. Because history has proven, especially in our last several decades, that no rights are being preserved in the courts. In fact, they're being taken there. Because what happens is this, is we have a hope that, let's say someone comes, it doesn't matter whether it's a federal agency or whether it's an individual, come to take our rights away. And then what do? We hire an attorney and we run up to a judge and we say, Judge, will you please grant me the rights that I already have? Yeah. And the judge may go, he may very, very well be part of this, and most likely is, part of this conspiracy. Now, do you think he's going to preserve your rights? No. But what you did is you allowed him to make the decision of whether you're going to preserve or whether you're going to be able to have your rights or not. You gave him up. You literally give them up by running to the courts and running to a judge and say, you make the decision, judge, of whether I own these rights or not.
Now I'm sure you're starting to realize that politics as usual won't work because it is designed to get you wasting time and money on a solution meant to grow government. So many good people spent so much time and money defending the caucus system because they cared. It is heartbreaking that the predictable result has thrown away all that hard work. We hope you will join with us in defending Utah so that we can do the hard work of again restoring freedom in Utah and beyond. Please click on the link in the description for more information.